What's up, Instagram? Hold tight, we're gonna get started. I gotta fire up some other stuff here.
Seems like such a mystery when we just laid a marker.
How's everyone doing today? Put it in the chat
Wanna spend time looking in your heart.
on this gross day.
When you said to me you'd be right back, I had no reason to doubt that. You seemed to be such a diplomat when we were getting started. Wanna spend time looking in my heart. Wanna spend time looking in your heart. Just looking for a place to start. Whoa. I like to think when I'm looking out the window. Step back a minute, look at the sunrise. So remember me, oh.
Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Vote. Just gotta go. I'm going live on Facebook. And then we'll be good to go. Hang on.
Depends now what you want to see. The outside of the heart in me, taking down my anxiety. The inside is underwater. Wanna spend time looking in my heart.
Okay.
Wanna spend time looking in your heart. Hey! It's a never changing scenery. I'm just along for the journey.
What's up, Instagram? What's up? What's up, Facebook Live? What's up, Zoom? We got everything going here at once. Cool. All right. Well, welcome this morning, everyone. We are... Hang on one second. We are officially 1 week out from the election. And so this morning we are going to talk about everything you need to know about making your plan to vote in person. Trey Smith, I hope that's how you say that. I think hairstyling can certainly be a form of art. So I think I've seen some that it definitely rivals any other art I've seen in any other medium. So anyway, Instagram, you're up here because I got you camera up there and I got a laptop camera there. And we're just one big happy family this morning. So I'm going to talk to you real quick about everything you need to know about in-person voting in this election. Critically important. I think you've probably heard a lot, and I think it bears repeating that this is the most critical election in anyone's lifetime. And I think that is certainly the truth. And we want to give our arts followers, our artists, our arts org, all the information that they need to make an informed and empowered decision at the ballot box this year. So what I want to direct everyone to, if you don't take anything else from this, I want to direct you all to our homepage, artskc.org. And I will put that in the chat on Zoom, and I will put that in the comment box on Instagram. Artskc.org is our homepage, and that first banner there takes you directly to our arts voting page, our resource page. And I don't want to brag, but it is probably the best, most inclusive, most thorough arts or most thorough voting information page that I have seen, and I've been doing this a long time. It has everything you need there, everything you could possibly need. So we're gonna walk through that real quick. It won't take very long, but it's critically important. So before we get onto that, I just want to make sure that if you are not registered to vote, unfortunately, and that means just like registered at all. We're going to talk about if you are registered, but you registered at a different location from where you are. We're going to talk about that. But if you are not registered at all to vote, the deadline for that was October 7th in Missouri and October 13th in Kansas. So unfortunately, if you have no registration whatsoever, email me. We'll see what we can do. I'll put my email here in the comments as well. 1 second. And then I'll put it in the I will put it in the chat in Zoom as well. So we're gonna walk through this page real quick. We're gonna walk through some of the resources here because it is critically important. So you are at artskc.org/advocacy/2020 election. I'm gonna put that in here as well. artskc.org/advocacy/2020 election. Let me type this in right. There we go. Boom. That's where you are. You go at the top, you go scroll down, it has register to vote and check your registration. You can use that. Hey, Helen in Instagram. And hey, Amber. I hope you stick with us. Hey, Amber. Those of you who don't know, Amber, Flutie Nastiness, she's awesome. You can check your registration as well. Either one of those. That's where you check to see where you are located at, where your registration is located, because it may be different. I just moved back in January, and if I hadn't updated anything, I would still be voting at my old location, which you can do. I could do, but it just is important that you remember where you're located, where you're registered at. And when you click those as well, you can find out where your polling place is, which is where you need to show up in person on election day. So, with that, we're gonna keep going here. The basics. November 3rd, it's a week from today. That is when the election is being held. Polls open in Missouri at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning. And they are open till 7 o'clock. In Kansas, statewide, it's supposed to be 7 to 7, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. However, some Johnson County locations are opening at 6 a.m. So some locations will be open a little earlier, and in the document I'm going to point to on our website, you can check specifically to see which one of those, which one is opening early. I'll show you how you're going to do that. I'm going to open up okay, I'm sharing on Zoom here. Okay, so you're on artskc.org, advocacy 2020 election. Click and under in Kansas, it says in Kansas, click the voting details document, open that up, and this is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know about voting in person and beforehand in Kansas. So look there. It has everything you need to know. It talks about getting ready to vote, early voting, mail-in ballots, etc., drop-off locations, what the time is for drop-off locations, and your polling place, how you can find your polling place. So if I scroll down to page 4, it talks about early in-person voting. It gives you all the dates through this Saturday and through the 2nd where you can turn in or go early in-person vote. On page 5, it starts talking about election day voting. So voting on election day. It talks about polls opening at 7 a.m., closing at 7 p.m., 6 a.m. in some of the Johnson County locations. You can find those locations and their contact info at the top of page 6 on bullet point number 2. It says, when are the polls open? You can find everything there. Both Kansas and Missouri, you probably have heard this before, but it bears repeating. If you show up at your polling location and the line is like 100 people deep, and you are like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, get in line, because if you are in line at 7 o'clock when they cap it, you are still able to vote. It's not provisional. It's not any kind of restricted voting. You get to vote a normal ballot like you would in any other way. So for Kansas voters, on this document, first tab under Kansas on our webpage, the last little bit of information here on number 6 is critically important to those of you who want to vote in person on election day. You can go to check your registration and find your polling location. All you got to do is type in your name, type in your birthday, and it will find you. And it's at iwillvote.com. So go there. You can also go to the Secretary of State site to find out everything that you need, as well as other information for the day. But Kansas people, what I want to impress upon you is that you do have a little bit stricter guidance when it comes to the IDs that you can take to the polling location with you. You have to have a photo ID to vote, which is different than Missouri, where you can have a bill or something else like that. But you can use your driver's license, passport, military ID. If you're a part of a native tribe, the ID card that you get there, an employee badge or ID issued by a government office. So if you work for the USPS, you can use your photo ID card. Student ID from a post-secondary education. So all of you KU students, K-State students, anyone else who goes to a state education, at state university, and you get a photo student ID card, that will suffice as your ID card in this election in Kansas. If you have a concealed carry license issued by Kansas or another state, that will work as well. Also, public assistance ID card issued by a government office. All of those will work for you. You can find that on page 1 of this document. So we're going to go back now to the artskc.org page, and under Missouri, it says Missouri Secretary of State Voter Information page. This here has everything you need to know about voting in the state of Missouri, in the Show Me State. Unlike Kansas, every location should be open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. on election day, every single location. You can find under the polling, you can find where you need to poll or where you need to vote under the polling location and voter information section. It has a little link right there. It talks about all the acceptable forms of voter ID here in this state, which in Missouri, unlike Kansas, you can take a current copy of a utility bill at your current address with you to the polls. And if you don't get, like I don't get a paper bill in the mail for any of my utilities or anything like that, you can pull up your phone, pull up your bill on your email with your name, your address, all the information from your email, and that will suffice. They cannot tell you that it has to be a paper product. It can be a utility bill, a bank statement, a paycheck, a government check, or any other government issued document that you have either in person physically or through your phone. There, you can check out some of the sample forms of acceptable ID there as well. You can vote either with a paper ballot or a machine. It's whatever you prefer. The machines, I used to not like the machines, but now more of them are printing out a copy of the ballot you chose on the screen, and then you put it in the machine like normal. So that gives me, I like that a little bit more in case something were to go down. This goes across the board in Kansas and Missouri. If you want to go at a less busy time, I can tell you that the most peak voting times are before 9 a.m., from 11 to 1, and after 5. So if you want to go and you want to vote at a less busy time, your most likely option is between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 1 to 5. Going at those times you will have more likelihood of shorter line than any other time of day. Another thing that you should be aware of: take some provisions with you. Take some water or something to drink. Take a little snack. Wear comfortable shoes on voting day, on election day, because otherwise, if you're in line and you're wearing the cute heels that you decided to wear to the office or to a meeting, you will not thank yourself when you're in line, but from 5 until 7:30 or 5 until 8. If you want, take a lightweight little chair that you can throw over your shoulder with you, and anything else that you need to entertain you. Take your phone, make sure it is fully charged. Election day, if you plan to vote any time of election day, that is the day that you should make sure that your phone stays on the charger at home or at work, and it only comes off when you go to vote. If you can plug it in your car, plug it in your car, because you want to be able to keep yourself entertained and not go crazy while you are waiting in line to vote. So take that with you. If you want to, take a little bag with an extension cord and a plug-in. If you're close to the inside of the room, that may be helpful to you. Another thing that you've probably heard this before: no electioneering within 25 feet of the polling location. That includes, this is from me to you, that includes if you are wearing a campaign related shirt, or a campaign name. But you can still, if you want to wear a Black Lives Matter t-shirt or an LGBT Pride t-shirt or something like this that's just generic vote on election day, you are allowed to wear that. You can wear that. However, another thing I want you to be aware of: if you are wearing a campaign shirt to the polling location, so whatever campaign, and they say, oh no, you need to go out and change whatever, that is not true. You could literally stand there, take your shirt off, flip it inside out, and put it back on, and that would suffice. As long as they can't see the name of the campaign. Now, if it's clearly, on the inside and it's, inside out, and it says what it is inside out, then that might be a problem. But you can also take a jacket or a zip up something or an over whatever with you, because when you get to that 25-foot point, someone may be watching from the polling location and tell you to put a shirt on or whatever. All you have to do is slip it on, go vote, take it off when you leave. You do not have to go back out to your car and get something. You don't have to leave line. If you take a bag with you with your snack, your water, your entertainment, whatever, and another shirt or a hoodie or whatever, you can just put it on. You do not have to go back out to your car or whatever. Don't let them tell you that you need to get out of line or whatever, because you do not. As long as you are not visibly wearing something that is campaign related within 25 feet of the door of the polling location. So that means that the entrance to go inside the facility, 25 feet within that. Don't let anyone tell you different. It's not 25 feet from the door to the place where you go vote. It is 25 for the room or whatever. It is 25 foot from the outermost door of the building. You should be outside, probably, under the sky, not under a piece of the building, from the door of the facility. So I want you to know that. You can still wear your Pride shirt, your Black Lives Matter shirt, your whatever you want to wear shirt. But if it is if it's like a firefighters for, Groucho Marx or whatever, someone who's actually running, they're going to ask you to cover that up when you get within 25 feet. But all you have to do is cover it up or flip it inside out, whatever. So I want you to know that. You can't wear hats, stickers, buttons, anything like that, campaign related. They can't be distributing materials within that 25 feet. So just know that. If someone's there, that is not official, everyone who is working the poll, who is officially either a poll worker or is a legal aid worker, they will all have some sort of identification. They will have a lanyard with a name tag or with something that indicates who they are. If it's some Joe Schmo and, let's say worst case scenario, he's got an AR-15 strapped on his back and he's just walking around out there trying to be intimidating, he has no authority at that location. And in fact, they should ask him to leave because he should not be there. They should not be there. So don't let them intimidate you. If someone comes up to tell you something like either you need to take that off or you need to do this or you shouldn't be doing this or whatever, if they don't have proper identification on, ask them for it. And if they can't provide it, don't listen to them. Tell them that they need to get to stepping because they are not someone officially with any entity that has any authority at the location. Another thing that you should be aware of, people may be in line helping. One of the things that people can do to help get people through the line is they can help people check their voter registration while they're in line. So if, open carry is allowed outside, but no polling location should be allowed to have any kind of open carry inside. At least in Missouri, I don't know what Kansas regulations are. Another thing, so someone may be coming up to check registrations. It's just to make sure that someone doesn't get all the way through the line, have waited 2 hours, and they're now past 7 o'clock or whatever, and come to find out that they should actually be voting in some other location. Another thing, though, if you are within the KC Election Board jurisdiction, so kceb.org, you can find out if you are by going there. But basically, if you are within the Kansas City limits of Jackson County, you are eligible to vote at any kceb.org location on election day. You can, so if you typically, like I used to vote at Bishop Spencer Place, which is kind of by 39th, between 39th and the Plaza, but now I've moved to the Waldo area, and so my regular polling location now is like school or something, but I voted early at Union Station. So if I couldn't make it to whatever reason I wanted to, just because I knew where Bishop Spencer is, I knew what the process was, even though my voter registration is now at a different place, I can still vote at Bishop Spencer because for this cycle, KCEB has expanded all of their locations to be able to vote at any KCEB location. So know that, but also look it up before you go, because you just want to make sure that you are within the KCEB jurisdiction. I would hate for one of you to think that you are, but you're actually not, and you have to vote at your specific location. You can find that on what I put in the comment section of the chat, artskc.org/advocacy/2020 election. You can find out where you need to vote there. You can find out if you are under the kceb.org jurisdiction there. There is one more thing I want to make you aware of. Let me find it real quick. Hang on one second. Let's say that you don't have a form of ID on you when you go into to vote that is acceptable to them, and there may be a chance that does happen if it's outside of the things that I've already said. You can cast a provisional ballot. Let's say let's say that I was planning on using my driver's license to go vote, right? And I forgot it. I had nothing else on me that would be sufficient for the vote to vote as an ID. You can cast a provisional ballot. You can go home or go wherever it is that you need to find whatever that ID is that you have. You bring it back before the polls close, and it will no longer be a provisional ballot. It will be just a normal ballot. They'll run it through as normal. So don't think that all is lost if you have to vote that kind of provisional ballot. Just to get it out of the way, you can bring it back. And you can also skip the line if you have to do that. So I've already voted provisionally. I went and got my ID to bring it back so that my vote would be like a normal vote. You can skip the line, go into the polling location, and they will count it as a regular ballot. You won't have to wait in line. The last thing that I wanna tell you before I get any questions. To speed up the process, if you do not require a shield, a voting shield, you know, the little protective cardboard, whatever. If you're like, I don't care who sees how I vote, I don't care who. I don't care who sees what I mark or what kind of ballot I bring. You can go on in if there is space in the polling location. So let's say they're like, okay, we can't take any more because all of our dedicated dividers and little polling places are full, you can say, well, I don't mind not having one. I would rather just cast my ballot. I'll pick a spot on the floor and fill it out and submit it. You are able to do that. And in fact, it may be a more efficient way of casting your ballot this year and getting the line shortened for everyone else. So they will probably still make you socially distanced. So there will be a limit to how many people can do that. But like me, if I hadn't voted already in this early this year, and I were in line, I would absolutely be that person. I don't care who sees how I vote. I don't care what they think or what they know. I'm going to mark my ballot and I'm going to submit it. And I can, get on the floor and do that. I really don't care. So know that is something that I had not known. And I wish that I would have in years previous. So anyway, that is pretty much all I have to tell you. There is probably some new stuff in there that you may not have heard before, and I hope that it was informative for you. Does anyone else, either watching on Instagram, Facebook Live, or on the Zoom call, have any questions? If you have any questions, put them in the comment box, or put them in the chat section on Zoom, and I will be happy to answer. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that. Anyone else, any questions at all, let me know, and I am happy to answer them. We just wanted to inform our arts community as much as we are able so that they feel empowered, they have a plan, and they feel confident going into the polling location. Once again, go to artskc.org/advocacy/2020 election, the numbers 2020 election, and all of this information is there for you. It is very thorough. It's very easy to navigate. You literally just scroll down past the registration. If that doesn't apply to you, go to In Kansas and click that voting details document. Go to In Missouri and click that first tab, Missouri Secretary of State Voter Information page, and all of this information will be available there. It should provide you all the answers that you need. If you have any other questions, you can find my email on our About Us tab and then staff, or it's in the comments on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and on the Zoom call. So if you have any questions, feel free to respond, or feel free to email me, and I will respond as soon as possible, because I want you all to be as informed as possible. So with that, thank you all for those of you who joined us and engaged with us this morning. Sign up for our advocacy emails. All you got to do, go to artskc.org, click the e-news sign up at the top, and type in your email on what emails you want to receive from us, and you can and we will follow up with you, and also like us on Facebook, Instagram, all of the platforms of social media that we're on. We're going to keep bringing these kind of discussions to you. We're going to keep trying to make the arts as impactful as possible with not only the good work that they do, but their voices, and the power that they have with their elected officials and that kind of relationship. So with that, have a great day. This recording of this session today, if you missed it, and you're just now joining us, will be on artskc.org /advocacy/2020 election. You can find it by clicking that homepage banner from artskc.org. The recording will be down in the ACT series training sessions, which is our Art Civic Training ACT series. You can find that under the October 27th link there. So with that, have a great day, everyone. We appreciate you. We appreciate the good work that everyone does, and we're so thankful to be able to do this kind of work for you and represent you in this way. So go vote, and we'll see you later. Thanks.